Nose and the Storm Maker. Listen.
No one knew Big Nose's real name, but everyone knew that he had the biggest nose in the village. His nose was enormous, and everyone laughed and pointed at it.
Look at that big nose!
They called. This made Big Nose unhappy, so he only went into the village when he needed to buy chocolate or a new handkerchief. The part of the country where Big Nose and the villagers lived was by the sea. There were no hills there, just fields where the farmers grew vegetables to sell in the city. Children played games outside in the streets, and when the weather was warm and sunny, they ran down to the beach to look for shells or to play in the water. Big Nose liked being on the beach too. He loved the smell of the sea, and because his nose was so big, he could smell very well. He could smell the dinner that people were eating on islands that were far away, and all the different fish that lived in the sea too. He liked the smell of octopuses most of all, and often caught them and cooked them for his breakfast. Big Nose could smell the difference between the north, the south, the east, and the west winds too. His nose could, perhaps, smell better than any other nose in the world. One evening, Big Nose was walking on the sand, enjoying the smell of the salt in the sea and the warm south wind, when suddenly the wind changed and started blowing from the north. Big Nose shivered. He looked at the sky and smelled the air.
Oh no!
He thought.
I know that smell, and I know that sound in the wind too. It smells like, and it sounds like, the Storm Maker. Storm Maker!
He called out loudly.
I can't see you yet, but you can't hide from me. You should go away.
The Storm Maker said nothing.
Storm Maker!
Big Nose called more loudly into the north wind.
You may wish to visit our village today, but we don't want your heavy rain, your loud thunder, or your dangerous lightning here. Go away! Take your problems to another part of the world.
But the Storm Maker didn't listen. It began to mix up the winds with its enormous spoon to make big black clouds, and the rain came down like waterfalls. The waves in the sea got bigger and bigger, and Big Nose suddenly saw lightning that looked like a big silver knife cutting through the dark grey sky. Then he heard thunder that sounded like the angriest, most frightening drum in the world. Big Nose got angry too. He stood up slowly and looked at the face of the Storm Maker and began to whistle at it. But the Storm Maker still didn't go away. The sand blew and blew, the wind got stronger and stronger, and the rain got heavier and heavier. Back in the village, hats and leaves and umbrellas were flying away in the wind. Children were hiding under tables, and parents were brushing the rainwater away from their doors and worrying about the vegetables in their fields. Big Nose climbed to the top of the highest rock on the beach and looked straight into the eye of the storm maker. He took more and more air in through his enormous nose and whistled more and more loudly until his whistling was louder than the wind. In the end, the storm maker put its enormous hands over its enormous ears and slowly turned away from the sky over the village. Its black clouds disappeared, and the wind was quiet again.
Ah, that's better,
Big Nose said quietly, and climbed down from the high rock and walked slowly home. And from behind the rock, 2 small children, who were too afraid to move or shout for help in the storm, got up, picked up their bags of shells, and ran back to the village. When they got home, they told the oldest woman in the village about Big Nose. She told the story to her sons and daughters. They told it to their husbands, wives, sons, daughters, grandsons and granddaughters, and then everyone told the story to 10 more people. Soon everyone in the village knew about Big Nose and the storm maker. When Big Nose walked into the village the next day, no one laughed or pointed at his big nose, or said that his whistling gave them earache, which was true. They knew that Big Nose made the storm maker take away its terrible rain, loud thunder, and dangerous lightning. So they smiled at him and said, "Good morning," or
How are you?
one small child gave him a beautiful flower. Big Nose was surprised. Everyone was being so nice to him. But he didn't want to ask why. He just said,
I'm fine, thank you.
and smiled back at everyone and felt much, much, much happier.
D. Listen and draw lines.
What a day, Spot. I don't enjoy going into the village. Everyone laughs and points at my big nose. That makes me unhappy. Lots of people were in the street today, weren't they? Did you see Katie? She had a dress with a moon on it. It was nice, but she whispered something to her friend when I walked past her. And that cat was afraid when it saw you. Did you see Harry in the tree? He had to climb it to try to get the cat down again. Daisy was there too. Oh, yes, you do know her, Spot. She's got black wavy hair, remember? She was on that old motorbike again. I think it's dangerous. She shouldn't ride it so fast. And that man, the one called Tony, laughed at me again. I don't like him. He was the man with the striped trousers on, Spot. He was carrying a box of vegetables from the field. I wish the people in the village were kinder to me. But Betty didn't laugh or point at me. I think she was reading an interesting story in her magazine. Her baby looks just like her. Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? Perhaps she'll say hello to me one day.
H. Listen and write. 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 'K. Listen and draw the right weather in each part of the country.
And it's good morning from me to everyone today. Here is your weather news. In Spring Forest, it will be very sunny today. So you should go for a lovely long walk there if you don't have to work today. South of the river, it's going to be foggy all day, I'm afraid. There won't be any sun today there for you farmers. And the weather will be very bad north of the hills. There will be thunder and lightning there today. It's going to be very stormy. Stay inside. Between Grey Rock Castle and the beach, it's going to be windy. That's good news for children who like flying kites. It'll be a great day for that. And the weather in the village? Well, lots of rain today, so take your umbrellas with you when you go shopping. And now for some music.
This is the end of CD 1.